Welcome to our webinar today. It is titled How to Run a Field Research Project on SurveyPocket. My name is Esther Lavielle, and with me I have John Johnson. And we are here today to discuss with you the advantages of SurveyPocket over traditional field research methods. And we will also show you how to implement SurveyPocket in an overall research plan and give you tips to train your field team to be successful while using SurveyPocket. Our goal today is to feature SurveyPocket as a research application that will give you the edge among your competitors by delivering high-quality data and reports faster than ever before. We want the audience to walk away with the confidence knowing from the front-to-back process of how to implement SurveyPocket into an upcoming research project. So next slide, please. So here's just a little bit about us here. SurveyPocket is created by Survey Analytics. We are headquartered in Seattle, Washington. We started back in 2002. We're mentioned in Puget Sound Journal's Top 100. We have well over 6,000 clients, and we're growing. And besides SurveyPocket, we also have other research products such as Question Pro, Survey Analytics, MicroPoll, IdeaScale, Survey Swipe, QSample, MicroPanel, and much, much more. So once again, the presenters today are going to be myself, Esther Lavielle, and John Johnson. We come to you with a combined 12 years of research project management experience and also experience in software application management. So next slide, please. So we're just going to dig right into what this product is. SurveyPocket is a mobile research field app that allows your field team to ditch the pen and paper and use an iPad for field research and data collection. So with SurveyPocket, it uses either Survey Analytics or Question Pro for survey creation and analysis. With SurveyPocket, you can take the tool online or offline, so it's available in both the online and offline mode. It's the only offline survey app with branching and skip patterns available, and it's also available on the iPad, iPhone, Android tablets, and we also have a Blackberry app. John, would it be possible for you to put yourself on mute, please? Thank you. So on this particular slide here, we're going to be looking at some advantages of SurveyPocket versus traditional research. You can see that the slides, you can see that with SurveyPocket, you'll be able to review overall results a lot quicker. Whereas with traditional research, it takes up to a day or more to do data input and formatting your results for delivery. With SurveyPocket, you'll be more accurate with your paper results, and you'll also be able to make edits to your survey on the fly. So if there's any issues that are coming up that's preventing you from getting your target audience in the field, you can make those changes and deploy them a lot quicker. You'll also be allowed to show your clients the results while the research is happening, and you can give them specific dashboard accounts or reporting accounts to allow them to log in and see how things are going. In traditional research, you can't really do that. So, and with the last major advantage with SurveyPocket is that you can apply GPS tracking. So this allows field managers to change field strategy to improve your completion rates. And so these are the major advantages of using SurveyPocket. Can we go to the next slide? So on today's agenda, we're going to start off with just talking about a couple of case studies from St. Jude's Children's Research and also the Country Music Awards. We'll also be looking at creating and managing your own field project, how to field your data and synchronize it into our Question Pro or Survey Analytics system. And then we'll also show you how to share field research results with your clients faster than ever before. John Johnson will step in at that time, and he'll also be talking about how to do a demo from start to finish, from showing you where the survey gets created to the analysis side after you receive your data from SurveyPocket applications. And the last thing we'll do is we'll look at some audience questions. So, feel free to post questions, and at the end of our presentation, we'll be able to answer those. So our first case study here we're going to be talking about is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude uses SurveyPocket in a research project to interview physicians while they're evaluating different medical devices. SurveyPocket, for them, it was designated by St. Jude as the application of choice because they wanted to be able to take the research offline and also offer robust reporting capabilities. It's a lot easier to capture the thoughts and comments of the doctor while using SurveyPocket versus standard stuff. I'm sorry, Don, can you put yourself on mute, please? Is it possible? I think you're not on mute.
Yes, I am on mute. Let me see if there's another.
Okay, thank you. I apologize. It seems that there are a couple of feedback things. I just want to try to make sure that we're getting those. Okay, thank you.
Muted.
Okay, so hopefully everyone can hear us better here. So with St. Jude here, what they have done is they have plans to take their tool, or take the SurveyPocket tool internationally, and in the future they plan to utilize different language options that we can run on SurveyPocket and take it to, I believe the next part is the Asian markets. So that is the from St. Jude case study. Next slide, please. So I wonder how many of us here are country music fans. We had an opportunity to work with the Country Music Association, and they use SurveyPocket to conduct face-to-face interviews with country music fans live at the CMA Awards. And during this event, the CMA had about a dozen employees, and they brought their iPads into the stadiums, and they interviewed country music fans about their experience from, how did they get to the location, about the parking lots, to customer service they received while attending the events. The iPad data was then collected after the event and synced back into the main Survey Analytics account. And then it was the data they used experience for upcoming was to help enhance the upcoming Country Music Award. So they're very pleased with that, and we're looking forward to possibly having them use SurveyPocket for another event in the future. Okay. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is creating and managing your own field project. Next slide. So to get started, it's important to understand the reason your company is doing market research. This chart here by Reboot clearly emphasizes the need to define the primary goals, the process, the tools, and the communication approaches, and what it should enable. There's a lot of white papers and blogs on how to create research projects, and you yourself might already know how to run a research project or field project. So in this case here, when applying a tool like SurveyPocket, you need to ask how you can apply this into your existing research strategy. Next slide, please. In this standard market research design, you can apply the SurveyPocket app to the process and primary processing tool stage. At the process stage, you can design the survey online using Question Pro or Survey Analytics, and then select the locations to run field projects that best reaches the target audience. At the tools stage, using SurveyPocket, you can select how you want to run the project. Do you want to do it as a field intercept, as one-on-one interviews, or in kiosk style, etc.? That's really up to you. Next slide, please. At the communication stage, this is where you can really take advantage of SurveyPocket's ability to capture and store video, audio, pictures, or signature from field participants. This way, you can enhance your quantitative data with pictures and capture the environment of where your data is collected. The way comments are written and spoken are completely different, so SurveyPocket lets you capture and evaluate these differences. Just a food for thought, just think about how SurveyPocket can really reform the way professional signature agencies must validate signatures and collect them in the field, to be added to government ballots. So that can really change the way, we can see particular things to be voted on in the future. Next slide. Build a savvy and engaging field team. So in order to have a successful team, we strongly encourage for you guys to pick social, engaging data collectors, people that enjoy speaking to the general public. Awkward people need not apply for this position. You also want to make sure that you pick tech-savvy people to become field researchers. If the fielders are not comfortable using technology such as the iPad or tablet or anything like that, they're not fit to use the iPad for collecting data. The third thing is you want to train them on the basics of how to use the iPad or the Android tablet or Blackberry app if needed. I would highly recommend for any company to set up a standardized test to gauge their proficiency on these tools. Next slide. This one's just a little hard to see, but what we would recommend here is to create a pre-field checklist. Here are some of the items that we suggest for you to include in your checklist. So that would be to make sure that your field team is well equipped with the latest version of SurveyPocket downloaded for the iPad, and you can click on the iTunes Store to update and download as needed. You also want to make sure that your field researcher has a fully charged iPad and a working device key to sync up surveys and data. And also make sure to type in the device key and synchronize all surveys in SurveyPocket at a location with internet connectivity before heading out to your assigned location. And then you can choose to turn on or off the GPS tracking. You can also download a copy of the SurveyPocket instruction manual for field members to review while on site, and can hand those to them. And also make sure that contact information is available to all team members so field leaders can call with instructions and updates and changes. So this slide here shows us that we should train people how to answer every single question that's available on SurveyPocket. And so, any kind of question type from, just the standard multiple choice select ones to comment boxes, they should be very proficient in learning and knowing how to answer each question very proficiently, and make sure that they themselves also run and practice using the actual survey that they're going to field, and make sure that they know how to answer those questions before they step into the field. I also would suggest to set up a standard protocol for data field collectors with technical difficulty issues. So if they have an issue with syncing up the data, you can set up protocol on those. And then also, I would encourage everyone to also set up an emergency protocol as well. So for example, if an iPad accidentally gets lost or stolen, or they dropped it, what is the plan of action there? So that's something to think about. So the third thing on our agenda here is fielding data with the device key and how to synchronize and organize data into an online report. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and pass the presentation over to John Johnson, who will show you how to set up a survey and deploy it into the field. And we'll also look at some reports and analysis available after the project, as well as some new features in SurveyPocket.
Thank you, Esther. Are you currently hearing me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, as you guys can see here, is fielding data is easy. All we really need is a device key and to synchronize our surveys. And the good thing about our system is we can deploy on the iPads as well as have the survey available online, etc. But it all comes back in to an online report where you can view these results. Okay. After we've created our survey, then we're going to need to create a device key for SurveyPocket. And I'm going to show you behind the scenes on that in just a second. We want to make sure the iPad has web access for setup purposes. We want to pull up SurveyPocket on the iPad. We want to type in that device key. We want to click synchronize, and we want to enable or disable GPS tracking based on your preferences. And the great point 4 here is share your field research results with your clients. This saves time and money on the data collection from the field, and it adds to the organization and rapid delivery. We spend less time managing the data and more time for analysis and completing projects. And I mean, you get to organize and deliver field projects to your clients faster than ever before. And that's very exciting. We can deliver field project results faster than ever, right? So we can export raw data charts in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, or SPSS. We can share real-time summary static links, automatically schedule a report for delivery, email customized reports to clients, or filter segment reports. And again, Esther mentioned this earlier, we can give dashboard accounts to clients who want to do data analysis on their own. Okay. Now here's the fun part. Let's see the behind the scenes on this. So first what I'm going to do is go into my survey analytics account. I'm going to create a new survey. Once I've created that new survey, I'm going to want to edit that survey and use any of our standard question types that are available for SurveyPocket. And we have some new question types. For instance, we can do recruitment tool, numeric validation, email validation, enhanced rating scales, ranking question types, constant sum, date validation. We even have the ability within SurveyPocket to add introduction or instructions. And of course, the great multimedia features such as uploading a video or capturing a photo or the signature capture. And we have image supported question types. So it's as simple as clicking add new question and creating your survey. Once we've created our survey, we're ready to deploy it on the iPad. So we're going to want to click the mobile tab in our survey analytics account. And under SurveyPocket device registration, we're going to want to click add new device key. Now we're able to name this device, as well as we can select which folder that we want to give of surveys we want to give this device access to. Once we've created this device, we now have a username key and a password that will be placed into our iPad. Let's take a look at that. So here we have our iPad, okay, and we have opened up SurveyPocket from our iPad. And now we're under our settings. We want to place our username and our password and click done. And then click synchronize to import the surveys that are available. Okay. So here we have a demo survey, so I can show you some of those exciting question types that we were talking about that makes for easy deployment in the field. We're going to click start survey. And here you can see we have please enter to join the panel. So this is our ability to have them join a community and follow up with them in the future for future surveys via the iPad. We can put in our name, last name, email address. Okay. Here's a single select. And of course, we have our multi-select type question. Click our next button. How often do you conduct surveys? Here's just another way where we can display the answer options to the user. And of course, Open-ended text boxes for comments and suggestions, which can be reviewed in the open-ended reports online after we synchronize the data, and we'll look at that. And here's a single row text box. How long have you been a resident? Okay, this is the ability. Now you see here we have it where we can type in alpha or numeric. Now, what if we want to validate this and we only want this to be numeric? Well, in our next example here, we can see, how long have you been a current resident? If I put in alpha characteristics here and click next, you can see I get the nice reminder here to please input numeric value. Here's our ability to capture an email address. Okay, we can let this be free form, but if validation is important, as we can see here on the example in the next screen, if I just type any old thing here, it's going to give me that same warning. Please input a valid email. And click next. How satisfied are you with the following? Our slider scales here. This is great. Very interactive for the user. A nice way to show off and have them really engage with the survey. And here's an example of the instructions, the presentation text. This is where you can input the survey instructions or introduction, etc., or moving into another section or chapter within the survey. Here's our rank order. I want skiing to be ranked number 3 here. I'm not that much interested in skiing. I like biking, so I'm going to put that to the top ranking. So my rankings here is biking, snowboarding, and skiing. I click next, and as a validation text, it asks me to confirm, have you selected the order in which you have ranked each option? Yes. Okay. Here's our constant sum. So you can see here, please allocate 100 points how you would spend your income, and there's validation on this. We get to see total points used and the remaining points. So as I move these scales up, you can see it shows me how many points I've used and how many points I have remaining. Okay. Our birthday type, nice little user interaction here with the roller. And contact information, of course. If you're a Survey Analytics client or Question Pro currently, you've seen our contact information question type. And you know you have the ability to capture email address, first name, last name, address, etc. Or you can disable certain forms that are not important, maybe for this particular survey. We have the ability to upload your photo. We can capture a photo. If you're using an iPad too, which has the ability to take photos and videos, etc., we can capture a photo or we can take a photo from our library. And we can do the same thing with video. We can capture a video or we can import a video that's already in our library. And it's the same for audio. We can capture audio right on the spot and live, or we can record it, save it, review it, and then upload it into the survey. And our most famous, our signature type question, which Esther mentioned, you know, great when you're out there trying to collect signatures. I'm going to do my little signature here, of course with my mouse, so it's not going to look that great. So do not make fun of me on the other end there. And we're going to click next. And that data has been captured. Which color of Norwegian bloodhound do you prefer? Okay, and this is a good example of being able to have an image select, okay, with our question here. And this is single select. And here's an example of multi-select, okay? Which of these little kittens do we think are cute here, okay? That's great. We've collected it. We have one complete, okay? One incomplete, two complete. I was testing around there. We had 22 questions in our survey. And we can hit OK. And all we want to do is go back to our surveys here, click synchronize, and all this data is uploaded back into the Survey Analytics tool. So we're back here at our survey account, which now we can click reports. We can see that data that we just collected. We can look at our quick summary report. We can go in and look at a real-time summary. If we have open-ended data that we collected, we can look at that open-ended text now and start going in and doing some editing. Or of course, we can export that data. We have our raw data export. We can do charts and analytics. And if you're using a statistical package, you can download that for SPSS. So it is easy, it's simple. If you're already on the Question Pro or Survey Analytics platform, or you're looking to do some fielding research using SurveyPocket, you can see from A to Z, it is fairly simple. Pull back up our PowerPoint presentation here. And so what I demonstrated to you there, and one thing I didn't mention is we do support multiple language. We support 30+ languages. And as you saw, some of our new features is the recruitment tool. You can have a customer join a custom panel. We have numeric validation, email validation, enhanced rating scales, ranking question types, constant sum, date validation. The SurveyPocket introduction and instructions is always great to guide users through your survey. We can upload from a library, whether it's photos, video, or audio, or we can capture on the spot. And not just that media, but as well as signature input. And we have the support of images within our questions. Okay. And now I'm going to toss it over to Esther to talk a little bit about pricing, and then we'll follow it up with our question and answer period.
Thanks, John. That was really informative. I'm excited about those new question types. I think they look really awesome, especially with the images. I know many of our current clients were looking forward to when we can have images supported on SurveyPocket, so now it's available, so that's exciting. So the pricing that we have for SurveyPocket is as what you see here. It is $400 per device key per year, but we do offer bulk device key pricing. It's available, and we can work with you to fit any particular field budget. So if you would like to learn more about that and you know you need some device keys, please contact our sales office. You can call us, email us for pricing information, and we'll be able to get you started. We can even have you sign up for an evaluation, 2 weeks for free to try it on your iPad or any tablet as well. We also have a SurveyPocket rental program available to everyone. So if you are worried about the cost of actually buying a bunch of iPads for your team, but you're really interested in trying something out, or if you have a client that needs some additional iPads you want to supplement, we can help you with that. So if you don't have an iPad, you can rent them from us. We will deliver them to you. It's $100 per day per iPad. It's a minimum $1,000 project, and it also includes technical support and training. And if you'd like for us to actually program the survey and have it synced on your iPad before delivery, we can do that for you for a minimum fee of $250. So that is a great way to really get started and start using SurveyPocket for a lot of field projects. So I'm looking forward to the day I go to a bunch of different music events and everything and see people holding an iPad collecting data versus the pen and paper. So it looks like we do have some questions here from the audience, so I'm going to throw them out to both John and I. One question came here from Edward. He wanted to know if we can have a copy of these slides, and then that is yes, you can. We'll have those available, and we'll send those to you after the webinar today, so you can follow up with this and review the slides again. We'll also have a copy of this recording available to you, so if you have colleagues who really wanted to come to this but missed out, they can also listen to this as well. I also have a fun comment here saying that country music is terrible. Yeah, so I guess to each their own. So it's not exactly my favorite either, but it's definitely just depends on what mood I'm in as well. So let's see here. I got 2 questions here from Tony. He wanted to know, is there an easy way to change the language on the fly? In Canada, sometimes we need to run a multilingual survey. Is there an easy way to change other than just scripting an English section and a French section? John, can you take that question on and maybe show how that can be done?
Yeah, I'd love to answer that question. And in our tool, it is fairly simple. We do need to create the create the survey in both languages, and we have tools and resources available to you. But once you've done that, as soon as you hit to take the survey, and for instance, let's show you in our simulator here. I actually have one pulled up. So we can take our multilingual survey here, and we can hit start survey. And you see here we have this survey fully supported in Arabic. So we can easily have both surveys available and ready on our iPad and ready for users to take.
They would have to be two separate surveys, one in English and then one in French, correct? And then they just
Correct.
pick which one they want to take the one in. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, great. That's awesome. All right, the second question from Tony here is, I deal with a number of clients, some who have their own hardware. Are their SurveyPocket device keys transferable between devices, and how do I do this? A really good question on that part here, and John, maybe you can help me answer that. I believe that one device key is specified per device, and if the device is no longer going to be available, I believe you can transfer it over to the other one, but you can't have multiple devices with the same keys. And John, correct me if I'm wrong on that part.
And so, yeah, Tony, you are able to use, of course, SurveyPocket on either the iPad or Android tablets, and as well as on the Kindle. The device keys are unique to each one that you set up. If you end up no longer needing that device key on a can you hear me now? Great. So, Tony, my answer to that was. Tony, my answer to that was that you can definitely use the iPad, the Android tablets, or the Kindle. Now, if you're using the device key, it will only be available on that one device. However, if you're no longer using that device and you need to shift that key over to a different device, you will have the ability to do so. Is there any other questions?
And then the last question, is there an app? Yes, there's a lot more. So here we have another question. Is there an operating system, iOS, Android, or Blackberry that works the best? I guess I don't understand that. John, do you understand that question?
So, is there an operating system that support we support the Android, we support the Kindle, and we support the iPad. I think what you're asking is if we're supporting currently the Blackberry, which I believe they call it the Playbook, and we're not currently for SurveyPocket inside the market for that. We potentially have future projections for that, but if you want additional information on the other platforms that we look to support in the future, we would love to have that conversation.
Great, that's great. And here's a question from Bill. Will all the question types and skip pattern protocols in the online tool work in SurveyPocket?
Esther, if you want to field that question?
Sure. Well, all of the standard question types that you see is available. The skip patterns that are available offline right now is the branching skip pattern at this time. If you are running the SurveyPocket tool in an online mode, then everything's available that you see on the online version. But in the offline version, only the branching skip logic is available, and the standard question types are available. So other questions I have here from Bill, will the formatting of the survey headers, footers, banners work the same in SurveyPocket as it does in the online survey? John, can you answer that?
You do have the ability inside of SurveyPocket to add a banner to your survey. Okay. there's some things that we can do as far as if you need to display something below the questions and have it form as a footer that we can do as a solution for that. But the banner is fully customizable for the logo, as you saw in the example in our simulator with the demonstration survey. Okay.
Great. Here's a question from Yamil. Do you offer telephone validation? I guess I would need a little bit more explanation of what that telephone validation would be. I'm not really sure what that would mean. John, do you think you know?
No, I mean, I would love to answer that question. We probably just need a little some additional details from what you're attempting to achieve there. Within SurveyPocket, you saw the question types that we have when we do our demonstration that we can place validation on numerically, etc. And so your question could be tiered if you're asking about our validation type on question type that's to retrieve telephone number, or is that question in terms of actual live contact validation?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. So, Yamil, if you want to write a little bit more about that or contact us later, we'll be happy to answer that. There's another question here. If you collect data offline, could you upload data by connecting directly through the computer?
So as soon as your iPad has a connection and it has the ability, it will synchronize. So as soon as it has either the Wi-Fi connection, etc., or you tap it in, it's going to have a wireless connection, and it will be able to synchronize the data. And so you have full ability in the basic in the offline mode. Yes, Esther?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, sorry about that, John. But yeah, just to kind of reiterate that, you don't have to be connected directly to a computer to upload the data into your account. There's no need to do that. You just need to have some sort of wireless connection. You can even do it at Starbucks, which I've done. So, and just upload it and update your account, and you'll have your data inside there.
Yes, the short and sweet is no wires needed, all wireless.
Exactly. So here's a question from Bernie. What happens when you get back to the office? How does the data get from the survey to the next stage? John, if you just want to show the Synchro tool, it really is just literally a click of the button.
So here I can see I have 4 surveys of data that I need to synchronize back into the system, and I'm simply going to click Synchronize and select Yes. Okay. That's simple. And now all that data is back inside of my Survey Analytics account and ready for me to review under my reports.
Great. So another question here. We got lots of great questions. Thank you so much for everyone to give us these here. So how flexible is the layout? Specifically, is it possible to alter font size or free text box size at all at this time, John?
There are some things that we can do. We can place some tags to change the coloring of the font, bolding, italicizing, etc. We'll accept inside of the form some basic tagging there. You are and formatting wise, it's the same as how it's on your Survey Analytics account as far as the layout. And more specifically, there may be some things that we will add in the future. Is there anything you want to add to that, Esther?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I do have several questions of people asking whether or not they can customize, the colors of the survey and all that kind of stuff. So I think it kind of goes towards the back where you said we are going to add those as tools in the future where you can customize the look and feel.
Right, and right now, we have 2 templates, default templates. Right now, you see I have the dim in my settings, the denim theme turned on. I can turn that off. Click done here, and you can see then we just have our basic layout here.
And the other question here, can you run the same survey, can the same survey be ran simultaneously on different iPads? And the answer to that is yes. You definitely can. Everyone just needs a different device key, but you can access the same folder. And one of the great things is that you'll be able to note, where the data came from. So in the data that you receive, you can see that, this device key collected this data, or this device key collected that data. So you can use that as a segment for your analysis. So there's a question from Jody. If we had our own iPads, are there any costs beyond the $400 device key? Does it require additional licensing with survey analytics? That's a really good question, Jody. And the answer is yes. You would need to purchase a survey analytics license to move forward with a device key. So I would encourage to contact our sales department, and they can give you some great pricing on the license. Plus, depending on how many device keys you will need, they can give you a quote that fits into your budget. Okay, and then we got a note from our head of development here. She wanted to go back to a question. iOS is the most stable right now, so that will be hopefully answering questions from previous. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we have lots of questions. People want to know about being able to customize the background if they don't want the denim background, and yes, you don't need to have that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's good. Yep. And do you need to have the higher than corporate version to utilize SurveyPocket? It's a great question. And the answer is no. You do need to, as long as you have at least a Question Pro account that's a corporate edition, then you can utilize the SurveyPocket tool. So if you're at a web professional right now, you do need to upgrade to the corporate account. And then, of course, you would add the device key as needed. Do you have a limit on the sample price size for price you quoted for $250? So that would be that's from Bernie. I think he was talking about the cost to create a survey. We did quote was, it starts at a minimum of $250. That depends on the survey, and so if you send us the survey, we can give you a more exact quote on that. Okay. And also, hey, John, with the iPad tool, do you think that we can validate people from the panel if they came from the iPad?
Meaning that they have joined. I think if I'm reading this, hearing your question correctly, is meaning that they're already a panel member and we've distributed a survey to them that they're taking it on the iPad?
I think that's what he's asking. Let me just verify that here. Yeah, so he just wants to know if you can validate the members opting in using the iPad, or not just the iPad, but maybe later when you're emailing them.
We most definitely can. Once they join the panel using the question type within SurveyPocket and you synchronize the data, on the back end, and I don't want to go too much into the tool on the panel side, we can enable a double opt-in email that they will instantly receive, and then they can click to verify their status.
Okay, great. So let's see here. I have a question here from Veronica. Man, there's tons of questions today. This is great. If you lose connectivity, can you come back to where you left off in the survey by entering a respondent ID? That's a good question. I believe that if you're running the survey online and you lose connectivity, you should be able to log in as an admin and find a incompleted link, and then you can continue on. So you can actually do that by logging into your account and response ID and be able to continue the survey as needed.
Correct.
Okay, so Yamil wanted to know if it's validation on a phone number. So if someone typed in a phone number, if you can validate the phone number.
Right now, I believe, and our dev is on the call too, and she can answer this. Right now, we're doing numeric validation support, so it checks for the numerics. As far as our validation question type for telephone number, making sure it is exactly, you know, the correct amount of digits. Maybe Jessica can speak towards that, or Esther, and we can do a check on that.
Yeah, I would say I know that we can do it online. I'll have to just run a quick test, and then we'll get back to you on that one. I believe we can, though, but I don't know for sure. I know online we can. So I have tons of questions today. This is great. Let's see here. How would you merge the data? Okay, that would be. So I have a note here from Question Pro, from our development team in Question Pro. They said that SurveyPocket is available with all paid license in Question Pro. So that's really great. And you don't need the corporate license, so that's fantastic. So that's something, you know, to get you guys started quickly. Let's see here. And I have a request from the audience. They wanted to see if you can demonstrate how to set up GPS tracking capabilities. Would you be able to do that on the iOS simulator?
The GPS tracking capability on the iOS simulator. Not right now in the survey that I have set up, but would love to set up a meeting with that person who set up that question to show that. And show them how to test that out.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, so definitely give us a call or email us after, and we'd be happy to contact you, and we'll show you how that gets done. So I'm sure you'll be very impressed with that. So another question here, how would you merge data from both Question Pro and SurveyPocket done at the same time, fielded two different ways, but want the data in one database? So that's a good question from Bill. And with our system, you can run a mixed mode deployment option. So if you want to do a survey online and also do a survey in the field, you can do that. So it's just a matter of deploying the survey either the standard way using an email, and then also using the device keys. And it will all flow back into the same spot, into the same survey area. And then, of course, when you are using the device keys will be saved and as part of the data, so you know which data came from the device keys and which ones came from online, because we've tracked the IP address. So those can be used for segments later. But you can use a mixed mode deployment option. So that's a very good question. And it does flow back the same way, you know, through either synchronization into our system or just automatic updates after someone's done taking the survey link. John, did you want to add anything else to that?
No, I just want to reiterate on that is yes, the great part about our system is once you've created that survey, it is available to be deployed online, of course, using our our standard things, using our email management system, posting the link in Facebook, etc., or sharing that link with others. But as well as you can deploy it on the iPad, and if you are using a community or have a community, you can deploy it to the community as well. And as Esther stated, all that data, once synchronized or when they've hit complete button, is available in the reporting tool and ready for you to start doing your reporting and analysis.
So here's another question here. Are you planning to incorporate all the question types supported by Survey Analytics or Question Pro soon, i.e. such as a text box matrix, multiple scale matrix instead of sliders? That's a really good question. Is there anything down the road that we should get excited about in terms of updates on SurveyPocket, including additional question types?
Yeah, the easy answer to that right now is, as you can see, we're always constantly adding and growing this product, and we have really launched some very exciting questions types in the new features as we went through and we displayed. And as far as the other questions types that are currently held on the platform, in the online version, yes, you can use any of those. It's making the determination of if you want to go the online route or offline.
Okay, great. And does the data appear already collated when we access our account after download, or is it only after raw data? I think it's once you have it synced with our system, then it's already available for you to view. So if you would like more hands-on experience with that, I would encourage you to sign up for an evaluation account, or if you have a Question Pro account, just to try SurveyPocket, and then you can see how easy it is to have the data collected once you're done taking a couple of surveys. Another question here, they wanted to know, is it possible to know the time spent on the survey? That's a good question. Let's see here. I don't know the answer to that. I would believe we do. I know for the online version, we do track the seconds and minutes, how long they take a survey. For the online version, I believe that we are coming with that. But John, do you know the answer to that?
In the offline mode, I am not sure, but I would be happy to follow up with that answer.
And to answer the question about the validation or contact info, if you use a contact info question, then yes, you can get validation for the phone number there. If you need to use it somewhere else, what I would do is go into the question contact info and then just take out anything you don't want and just keep a phone number. So yes, that can be validated. So that's great. Thank you, Jessica. Okay. Let's see here. So we had some questions about looking at sample reports and stuff. I think we kind of did that a little bit earlier. And if you'd like to look at your own sample report, I highly encourage everyone to sign up for an evaluation account, and you can get some hands-on experience and work with us as you decide if SurveyPocket is the right tool for you. Okay, so it looks like that's all the questions that we have so far on here. And like I said earlier, you know, if you guys have other questions, feel free to contact us directly. John, if you want to pull up the last page, and we can just show you our contact info. We'd be happy to answer any questions. If you'd like to get a quote on the tool itself, feel free to contact our sales department or read more about SurveyPocket at surveypocket.com. We also have a blog for SurveyPocket, blog.surveypocket.com, so you can be updated with new items that are and new features that are available on SurveyPocket. So it is becoming a very, very popular tool among our clients, and so we highly encourage everyone to give it a go. John, do you have anything else you'd like to add or conclude?
What I would like to add is I'd like to thank everyone who has joined us today for this very exciting presentation of SurveyPocket and Survey Analytics. We thank you for all the great questions and all the things that you brought up, and hope to be talking with all of you in the future here.
Yes, that is correct. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We will be following up with everyone with a copy of the slides and also a recording. And if you guys have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.